I think this 15th edition of the forum organized by Institut Amadeus was a very important one. And the topic could not have been more timely, polycrisis and polyworld. I joined the session on deglobalization or reglobalization. And we discussed what the next 25 years are going to look like. I try to point out some 3 or 4 characteristics that I think will be very consequential in this next chapter of globalization. So one of them, of course, is in the next quarter century, the world's population is going to increase by 2 billion. So a very critical question is, where is the world's food going to come from? Where is the world's energy going to come from? How is the transition to the green economy going to play out? Another topic that I pointed as particularly relevant is that today, if you take into account the so-called G7 countries, so the US, Japan, Germany, France, the UK, Italy, and Canada, they have a combined gross domestic product measured at purchasing power parity terms of about $48 trillion. But if you take into account the 7 biggest economies in the emerging world, so China, India, Brazil, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Mexico, they already have a combined GDP of 58 trillion. That is to say, the E7 is about 20% bigger in purchasing power parity terms than the G7. And that ends up creating new business opportunities. So we should not only think about polycrisis, but also about poly opportunities. And then, of course, another feature that I believe is particularly important going forward is the rerouting of global value chains. So not only because there are many geopolitical concerns, but also because some economies in the world are changing their nature. Look at China, for example. China is no longer a low-cost country. So naturally, some of the labor-intensive manufacturers moving away from China into countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, to Morocco, and potentially to countries like Brazil as well. So understanding this new configuration of global value chains is very relevant in how we describe the opportunities in the next couple of years. So it was a wonderful experience, and I hope to be back in Morocco very soon.